This video covers the academic use of social networking site, and it is based on one research article, a case study published in Education and Information Technologies. Actually, a WhatsApp platform was used to productively engage the learner in the classes and within the teaching and learning process. WhatsApp group were created for every classes, and the parents were added as a member, and the principal, the teachers, and especially the class teachers were added as an administrator of these groups. The duty of the teacher was to post the morning attendance and also to post every subject homework in these groups, and also the discipline activities. There was a register in a school where every discipline violation from the learners were noted, and these were shared in this group with the parents, and also the weekly and monthly progress reports. These things were regularly shared in these groups, and after that the data was collected and it was evaluated for different parameters. For example, we evaluated for the parents, that how parents were engaged or got engaged with their children, and also for the teachers, that how they got engaged with learners in terms of giving homework to them and marking their homework. And especially because everything in this study is done for the learner productive engagement, we evaluated the learners for different parameters. For example, we evaluated their behavior, we evaluated their absenteeism, and we evaluated their progress reports in terms of engagement with the learner activities, and also in terms of discipline. After that, before going toward these studies, the result of these studies, that what happened after this framework, after engaging the parents, teachers, and learners in one group and monitoring this group, what the learner engagement actually means. There are a number of definitions for learner engagement. For example, cognitive involvement, active participation, and emotional involvement in any learning content. And someone defined it as participation in educationally effective practices both inside and outside the classroom, which leads to a range of measurable outcomes. In short, it clearly means that we have to engage the learners with learning content. It may be in the classroom or in the institutions, or it may be outside of the class or outside the institutions. But the outcome should be measurable, the output should be productive. In the literature, the one framework is used, which is actually a paradigm which is discussed, that the parents, teachers, and learner active involvement is very necessary for good schooling. We have made little changes in it. For example, in our new paradigm, we can say that there are two paradigms now, and these two paradigms, the external paradigms and the internal paradigms. The external paradigms is surrounding the learners, the internal paradigm, to involve them actively in learning and teaching process. For example, if you can see the internal paradigm, which covers the parents, learners, and teachers, which actually literature discuss, uh, it is universal truth that learner may not be productively engaged with the parents and teachers. But the one thing which should be noticed, that without the proper administration, it is also not easy to engage teachers, parents, and learners in the institution, in the learning and teaching process. In spite of that, administration is responsible to make rules and follow these rules, or receive rules from uh, any external body, and follow these rules from teachers, also from parents, and the learners. So without putting administration in this paradigm, it is not possible to engage the internal paradigm. So we have added the administration in that, because in these WhatsApp group, the administration will actively monitor the teachers, that either they are contacting with the parents, either they are sharing their materials in the groups, and also they are sharing the discipline and progress subgroup. Similarly, that either the parents are following these progress reports or not, and they also check that the learner progress is improving or not. So that's why the administration principle is very necessary to be added in this group, or to be added to such like structure to actively monitor these things. So this is actually a proposed structure where social media is connected to the teacher, principal, and parents. However, learners are not directly connected with social media. It means, because this study is for school, where primary, middle, and high school children comes. So it is not possible from primary students to engage with the social media. And also for the middle and high classes, it is usually accepted by the people that the children use the mobiles for other activity rather than using them for their learning activities. So usually parents think that the mobile shouldn't be given to the children to actively engage in the learning process. Therefore, we created a paradigm of teacher, principal, and parents, which are connected to a social media, and they work in this paradigm to productively engage the learners. So let's check the result after carrying out this structure in a school for about 1 year, and every month these progress were monitored and discussed in the parent teacher meeting. And after that, after getting this data, this was evaluated for number of parameters. For example, the parents were monitored that either they are motivationally engaged with the learners or not, either they followed the progress report or not. Similarly, the teachers were monitored for their homework, for their contact with the parents, and also marking the homeworks. And the learners, which is the central point of these studies, were monitored that either they were productively engaged in case of their progress report of weekly and monthly, and also for absenteeism, that how many days the student remain absent from the school on monthly basis. And similarly, their behavior were evaluated, and on the base of the discipline register and the discipline progress report, they were checked that either their discipline behavior improved or not. The result shows that in the start, parents provide fewer number, because directly every parents don't have mobile phone, or they don't use a WhatsApp group. But after few months, after realizing that the number of WhatsApp numbers are very less, and will not be able to continue the study. So therefore the parents were allowed to give any WhatsApp number which is easily accessed to them, where they can check the progress report. After that, about 60% parents were connected in these WhatsApp group. So after contacting on the WhatsApp group, they starting taking participation in the PTMs, in the parent teachers meeting, and those who were out of the country and those who were out of the village, they also started conversation on WhatsApp group by asking teachers about their children progress report, and also about their children disciplines activities, etc. Similarly, the teacher engagement also increased, as you can see in this plot, that in before the WhatsApp group, when they were not directly contacted with the principal and the parents, uh, usually they were not asked for the homework. But after WhatsApp group, they were directly connected with the parents, they were directly connected with the principal too, and parents were also asking in the groups about their children progress report and homework. So they were regularly sharing the homework in the groups. And similarly, they regularly marking the homework of the learners. And also, because it is very important for teachers to connect with the parents, this result shows that they actively involve the teachers to contact with the parents, especially those parents whose students whose children remain absent from the school, or whose students behavior was not good. Similarly, in terms of the academic year results, when we compare the result of the 2019 and 2018 and 19 and 2019 and 20, the 2020 results were much more better than the previous year. And we also checked the average attendance, we also checked the homework progress report, and also for the complaints which were received from learners. It drastically increase the attendance of the learners. Also, the progress on homework from the students, it will also increase. And the discipline, which usually remain a major issue in institution, this was also resolved, and only fewer students were involved in such like activities. And these and those were these students whose parents were not connected on the WhatsApp group, or they were not coming to the PTM, they were not engaged in the parent teachers meeting. So these were the positive sides of this study. But what were the challenges to implement these to implement this system? The first one is that it is human nature that they resist the change. So the teachers, also the students and parents, resist to get involved in such like process. However, after sometimes that they used to this practice, and they see that this is improving the school activities, this is improving the institution, the children for which they are here, they used to with this system, and they accepted this system. And the second challenge with that is that it is also not possible for every parents to have a WhatsApp group, WhatsApp number, or also to have a any smart device. And similarly, there were some teachers who were saying the same, that they are not able to use or to run the WhatsApp applications on the Android phones. These were some challenges with this study, but it the all finally this was a productive practice, and they productively engaged the learners in teaching and learning process. So I will suggest to use a social networking site, especially WhatsApp group in your institution. Create WhatsApp group for every class, add the parents, add the teacher of every subject, and also the principal, so they may share the attendance, the daily homework, the progress report, the discipline register activity with the parents. Definitely parents will be involved in the learning and teaching process. Thank you so much.